Okay, so I've been digging through this. Well, it's a scattered digital archive. It's a whole collection of documents, weird logs, and emails that, honestly, at first glance, just looked like a total mess. The real challenge here is to take all these digital puzzle pieces and figure out the story that's hiding inside. So let's dive in and see what we can find.
And the first thing that hits you is just noise. Little fragments of words and ideas just flashing by. You've got incident reports, mentions of safety protocols, political stuff, municipal permits. It's this overwhelming stream of data, and none of it has any clear context.
And almost immediately, you start seeing these words pop up over and over again. Irregularity, brake failure, file missing. You realize pretty quickly these aren't just isolated problems. No, these are logs from a system that is under some serious strain. The text itself paints this picture of constant issues and just friction.
Then, you stumble upon this really strange, cryptic entry from one of those logs. It reads like a statement of just complete frustration. It's almost poetic in how broken it sounds. Engineering is no longer no court engineering, no process, don't machine not low. It's like a voice from deep inside the machine screaming that something is fundamentally wrong.
So that's the big question, right? How on earth do we turn all this digital chaos into a story that makes sense? What is the human element that's buried under all these technical terms, all these error reports, and all this bureaucratic language?
To even begin to untangle this, you have to look for a pattern, right? Some kind of common thread, a name maybe, something that could connect all these different documents. And sure enough, buried in all that noise, one name starts to pop up, again and again and again.
And boom, there it is. Splashed across government forms, technical coursework, private emails, and even financial bids. This one name ties it all together. Trishingombe Chitati Fiston. He's our guy. He's our protagonist.
So how do we first meet him in this digital pile? Well, it's through this document, a formal Code of Conduct Declaration. It's for the ETDP-SETA. That's South Africa's Education, Training, and Development Authority. And this is important. This isn't just a student ID. This actually establishes his professional standing. He's committing himself to the official standards of a registered assessor.
All right, so we have a name, but who is Mr. Shingombe, and what's his goal here? To figure that out, you really have to understand the incredibly complex system that he's trying to navigate.
See, at the center of this whole thing is something called the National Qualifications Framework, or NQF. Think of it as the official rulebook in South Africa that standardizes every kind of learning achievement, from a basic certificate all the way up to advanced degrees. It's a world of levels, credits, and formal recognition.
And it turns out his immediate goal is a national diploma in engineering. But listen to this path, it is an absolute marathon. It's not just one big exam. It's a whole series of 6 different certificate levels, one after the other. Then he has to get 2 full years of practical hands-on work experience, and only then can he even apply for the final diploma.
And the stuff he has to learn, I mean, it is just mind-blowing. This is not basic stuff. We're talking advanced topics like applied thermodynamics, symmetrical fault discrimination, which is about power systems, and this incredibly dense operational mathematics. This is seriously high-level, deeply technical engineering. And this is where we get to the real heart of the story, the central conflict that we found buried in all this data. There's this huge disconnect between the insane level of technical knowledge required and the frustrating, often completely broken administrative system that's supposed to be supporting it.
This one line, just tucked away in an incident log, it says everything. It's the stark, direct admission of failure from inside the system. The very organization that's meant to educate and certify is described as, quote, non-operational. Wow.
And it's not a one-off thing. When you actually start to tally up the entries in these logs, the pattern is just undeniable. Look at the most common entry types: complain, irregularity, failure, conflict, and missing. It's just a constant drumbeat of problems. It creates this environment of just perpetual struggle. So you've got this incredible split, right? It's like he's living in 2 completely different worlds at the same time. In one world, he's solving these super complex equations for motor efficiency and AC circuits. And in the other world, he's battling backlog certificate missing, transcript refund, and non-compliance. It's just a tale of 2 wildly different challenges.
But right when you think you've got the story figured out, one guy versus a broken system, the archive throws a massive curveball. It turns out Mr. Chingombe is not just a passive victim of all this bureaucracy. Not even close. And then we found this, a government tender document. He submitted a bid for a municipal contract. The total bid price? 1 million rand. This single number just completely flips our understanding of what's at stake here. This was never just about getting a diploma.
And suddenly, everything clicks into place. This guy isn't just a student. He's an official assessor, the one who evaluates other candidates. He's an entrepreneur, going after major government contracts. He's a researcher, carefully documenting all the system's flaws. And maybe, most important of all, he's a reformer, actively trying to build something better.
And here it is, the final piece of the puzzle. It's his own research proposal, his vision for a solution. He's not just complaining about the system, he's designing a whole new implementation framework to fix the very engineering education system that he's been struggling through. He's trying to engineer the system itself.
And so that brings us full circle, back to a question. You know, we've pieced together this digital case file, the story of Chingome Tishidi Fiston, and it's this incredible story of one person's drive. But it really forces us to ask a much bigger question. In any field, really, in any country, how much human potential, how much expertise and innovation just gets trapped in the gap between brilliant people and the friction of broken systems?